You could hear the cheers, you could hear them being loud, screaming, super happy, and they should be. They're 2-0, and they just had back-to-back double-digit wins for the first time since 2017. Upset complete for the Denver Broncos as they came here to AT&T Stadium as 10-point underdogs. They shut up the Cowboys as Dallas couldn't even score in the first half. 372 days. That's how long the seats have been empty here at Ball Arena. But on April 2nd, that will all change. The biggest thing is we've talked about that purple carpet. This is the first time ever in history that they have changed the carpet for this event. So really cool. So once the All-Stars walk down here, they will exit and head to the stadium. As you can see behind me, wrapped in that pretty bow, it is the pillar for Mike Shanahan and him getting inducted finally into the Ring of Fame. That season opening win for the Nuggets felt a little bit like revenge as the Suns knocked them out of the playoffs last season. But it's all about this home opener here at Ball Arena as the Nuggets will see this arena full for the first time since 2019. The lucky number 2, the Broncos are hoping to improve to 2-0 after this weekend, which would be the first time the Broncos have been 2-0 since 2018. Not looking too far ahead here, but imagine this team being 3-0 as the New York Jets come to town next weekend. Guys, back here at Folsom Field, though, I'm excited for Ralphie the Sixth.
Yes.
Just 15 months old and 500 pounds, guys. So cannot wait to see her run out tonight. It's been 642 days. Blaster, how do you think the Oredickers are going to do this season? A little shy. Guys, back to you. Pat Surtain II is here, and he is ready to be surrounded by some of the best defensive players in the NFL. Now, it's crazy to think 24 hours ago, this kid had no idea he would be here in the Mile High City, but when he was introduced today, he was dressed to the dimes. What a week it has been here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 3 Denver Broncos getting enshrined forever here in Canton. Steve Atwater got the immortality going on Saturday. John Lynch and Peyton Manning joining Atwater on Sunday. A slow start was the dagger for the Denver Broncos in this loss to the Steelers. They had a high-energy fourth quarter trying to get the comeback win, but unfortunately it was just a little too late as the Broncos have now lost 2 straight. Was there ever a moment where you thought in your head that this could be a reality for your team to sit atop the Western Conference, get a bye in the playoffs, and play at home? We're talking 4 turnovers, a 101-yard kickoff return, and a pick 6. It's hard to beat anyone when that happens, let alone the Super Bowl champs and the Kansas City Chiefs. The sweet sound of a bat hitting a ball, the smell of popcorn in the air, cheap hot dogs, and overpriced beers. Yeah, it sounds a lot like opening day. Rumors are flying about the possibility of Aaron Rodgers signing a deal with the Denver Broncos. Yeah, that just came out of my mouth. That is currently what's taking the Twitter world by storm right now. There's got to be some kind of answers for you guys. Where do you go from here? Because unfortunately, the schedule does not get any easier. And I think Broncos country will be happy to hear that, as George Paton has been on the job for just a couple of months now. Both him and Vic Fangio confirming this work relationship is starting out on the right foot. That is especially nice to know because the duo has a lot of work to do as the NFL free agency period opens up in just 11 days. This is such a tough pill to swallow for the Avs because you really have to think about it this way. This game was so important for them. I mean, we saw what they did in game 1, and then they just seemed to not have an identity until tonight. They had them in those first 2 periods. Jim Blake hadn't been to a Denver Broncos game in over 30 years. But over the course of the last 2 weeks, Jim has found himself at Empower Field at Mile High on back-to-back weekends.
I've never been down here. I can actually see the grass that players play on. This is awesome.
This past Sunday against Washington, the Blake sideline pregame views was all thanks to Jim's favorite Broncos player.
Right now, my favorite Broncos player would have to be Reisner. He's a Colorado boy.
He talked about Reisner, the hometown guy, being his favorite player. And for me, just being an offensive lineman and being a part of the Denver Broncos, like that stuff means a lot to me. Hearing someone say like I'm their favorite player, like that drives me. I love that. And to hear what he was going through, it just inspired me so much. I'm like, man, like that means so much to me. It's so awesome he's there at the game. That's what he wants to do.
It's a privilege to meet you, my man. It's a privilege. I'm glad you got here, man.
Jim was recently diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. His time is ticking as he was given 6 months to live.
You know, I called Jim and Jesse. Jesse's his son. They were both crying and in tears. They said, "Who is this?" I said, "Dalton Reisner." And they're like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "It's Dalton Reisner." And we had a good phone call last week, early in the week, and I told them we were going to get him pregame passes, and I was going to get him tickets to the game, and promised them they'd be able to meet, guys like Von Miller and Bradley Chubb.
Those promises were kept, and a bond has been created by this simple act of kindness.
Just being able to shake his hand, and I told him, like, you continue fighting and I'm going to fight for you today. And he was just so adamant about us kicking some tail, winning the football game. He's just an old school guy, and I really value that about him. I was raised around people like that, and you could tell he just values hard work and loves the Denver Broncos.
And for his son Jesse, he's riding alongside his dad for his final fourth quarter ride.
Spend this time with my dad, to be here, for Dalton to make it happen. Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, this is memories I'll have forever.
With the Broncos,
That was awesome.
I'm Taylor Brooks.
My dream is to make it to the NFL.
On the small turf behind Red Hawk Ridge Elementary School, a football sensation is emerging.
I personally don't think we'll ever see a kid like him again.
Micah Fleming is just a 7th grader, training with the mindset of chasing a scholarship and a dream.
It's so important to me because I know that all the training I do every day will translate on the field. So if I'm doing something tough that day, I know that it's going to translate to the field.
His trainer, Braylon Davis, sees it with his own eyes how different Micah is.
You don't even see high school kids do that. You don't see guys in college or in the NFL do it. I could tell that he's determined. So when you ask him that question about how realistic his dream was of going to the NFL, I think he sees it. And when you see it, you can seize it.
A school like USC has already taken notice.
It was only like a one-day trip, so we went there and then went back the same day. So we went to the campus. I got to see all the college players, the DB coach. Then I got to go to their practice and see them train and stuff.
And it's moments like a simple clap before a rep that will take Micah to unimaginable places in his football career.
If you see him in his workouts when he claps, he's mentally putting himself in a place to get ready for the play, get ready for the drill. And that's exactly what's going to get him to the NFL. That's what's going to help him achieve and accomplish his goals and his dreams. It's going to help him maybe even be a Hall of Famer, to be honest.
That drive and ambition comes from me trying to help and make it to the NFL and helping out my family. Just having a name and having a legacy to myself.
Remember the name Micah Fleming, defensive back, class of 2027. In Aurora, I'm Taylor Brooks.